Alright, hello everyone. Sorry that I'm very small in the corner right here, but I needed more room to show you the screen. But today I'll be going over the first tournament that I will be attending in 2023, and it's actually not for another few months. But I am already starting to prepare for it, and if anyone wants to join me, I recommend, starting to get ready as well if you are serious about, competing in chess. But that will be the Charlotte Carolinas Classic for 2023. And they do actually a lot of events every year. As you can see, this is the schedule just for the Charlotte Chess Center, how many different events they have. And those unfamiliar with the Charlotte Chess Center, they have a great school for people there. That's where Daniel Naroditsky's from. I'm sure a lot of people know him. So it's obviously a very nice place. I played a tournament here last year, and I very much enjoyed it. I believe it's going to be in the same exact place. So it's a very nice location, a lot of stuff to do, a lot of food to get, like in between rounds and stuff like that, and very close by, so it's all convenient. Beautiful hotel. They have a nice pool. When I went, it was in almost wintertime, so it wasn't really feasible to use the pool because it was rather chilly. But this event is, if you were to go to the charlottechesscenter.org/events, you'll find the Carolinas Classic right here, June 9th through 11th. If you click on that, you are brought here, and it's going to be in June, so you could definitely use the pool if you so want to. But it has $15,000 in guaranteed prize fund. There are 10 sections, and what that means is that you will not be paired against, Daniel Naroditsky if he decides, or Daniel Naroditsky if he decides to play. You will be against someone of a rating level of your choice. That being said, you can't be rated, 2,000 and play against 1,200s. They're not going to let you do that. However, how the sections typically work, I'm going to see if they have them here. Yeah, they do have them here. So they have sections every 200 rating or so. And pretty much how this works is that, say that your rating is 1,300. You can either play in the under 1,300 category, or you're able to play one up. And pretty much they say that if you're within 100 points of this one and want to play up, that you're able to. So if you're, say, 1201, technically you could play in the under 1,500 section. I do not know which section I will play in myself. I'll probably go for the under 1,700 section, just because my rating is not so high for over-the-board chess just yet. I have mainly been playing online, as everyone probably also has, during COVID and all that. But each particular section you'll see has around 600 at the very bottom, up to, a grand for these smaller sections. And then the open ones is where you have the bigger prizes. But yeah, so we are playing for a cash prize. The tournament does cost money to enter, and I'm going to talk all about the fees and what you have to sign up for and where you sign up for everything, so that no one is blind to the costs. But pretty much, they're going to have some cool special guests. They always have a free Blitz tournament right here. I participated in it last time. I am horrible at Blitz, but I had a ton of fun. And it's free, and you get a chance to win, money. So always fun, and it's, I believe, a pool with literally everyone. So if you want a chance to play against some of your favorite, chess personalities and streamers, this last one, Aman and Daniel were at that one. I obviously didn't play against any of those guys because I suck at Blitz, and I went towards the bottom of the bracket pretty quickly. But you do have a chance to play against them if you win enough games, because this is just free for everyone. Or, yeah, anyone can pretty much play in it, is what I meant to say. But, yeah, they have a world champion going to be there. They have Sam Shanklin, who's a current pro. They have Jacob Agard, who is the author of that book, the positional chess book that I use on my YouTube channel that I go over chapters in. The tournament will span 3 days, but there is going to be a 2-day, what do you call it, option. And I'm going to explain that for you here in a second. Let me go right here. Yeah, so 3-day schedule will be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I believe. They don't make this too clear right here. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Let me just check. Okay, yeah, right here. This is better. So 3-day schedule and the 2-day schedule actually turn into the same on day 3. So pretty much, if you want to play less games per day, go with the 3-day schedule, but they are going to be longer games. If you just want to be there 2 days, or you don't want to get a hotel for that long, or you're not able to stay the full duration, then just go with this 2-day schedule right here. And what they'll do is on that first day, on Saturday, they'll have a lot more rounds than on Friday and Saturday. On Friday and Saturday, they're going to have 1 game Friday, and then 2 on the other day. Whereas here, you're going to have to cram all 3 games into 1 day, and then you merge into the other one on the last day. So, I mean, if you are a fan of shorter time formats, I mean, maybe 2-day will kind of benefit you. If you like to, take your time with your games and not feel rushed, then go with the 3-day schedule. Both of them kind of have their own advantages and disadvantages, so just find what works for you. If you get like burnout from many days in a row of hard chess, then maybe this 3-day isn't quite for you. Maybe you just want to put all your effort into this 2-day. But do whatever you think is best for you. Cost-wise, I believe they're the same, 2 and 3-day schedules. Apart from having to get a hotel and stuff for another night if you aren't commuting. But let's see what else I have to go over in this tournament. Time format. Yep, right here. So it's going to be, we're not worrying about this. This is going to be us. So G100 increment 5. And what that means is game in 100 with a 5-second increment. So 5-second increment just means 5-second delay. And then game in 100 means 100 minutes per side. So it'll be 1 hour and 40 minutes each. Plus, for every move, you have 5 seconds. So that whenever there's a time scramble, it's not like you're at 1 and you have to do this. You have 5 seconds to, make your move, that it doesn't get too hectic with the pieces. Things probably won't fall over when you do so. But that'll be per round. So 5 rounds of 100 minutes per side. Unless you are going to do the 2-day schedule, it's going to be a game at 40. So that's still like a classical game. That's still a longer game. Probably most people, if they were to go on chess.com, they do like 30-minute games. Even that is shorter than, even this is longer than a 30-minute game. So that's still a lot of time. But you can play, some variations and stuff like that that are a little more hectic in this shorter time format because people don't have as much time to, think through all the calculations and stuff like that. So if you want to play anything sketchy or something like that, then maybe go with the 2-day, and at least on that first day you could kind of get some wins with those weird openings and stuff like that. We went over the prize fund, we went over the schedules, side event, yep. The special guests will do all kinds of like book signing and lectures and like player analysis and stuff like that. So if you're interested, by all means, that's fun. The free $1,000 blitz, I am absolutely looking forward to. Again, I'm horrible at blitz, and I have a ton of fun, just because you're playing a lot of quick chess fast. It is rated, so if you're worried about like your rating or whatever, then don't do it. But it's a separate blitz rating, which I'll show you here shortly how those separate. But it's just a chance for free money. You could meet some chess celebs if you care about that kind of stuff, and it's just a good time. Pretty much everyone's all in one room for this. Normally they separate, your like GMs from your normal, new players, but they all get combined for this blitz section, just a fun night event. There's still some kids running around, but there's like normally less than during the day, so mainly like a lot of adults come out and play in the blitz section, but still a great time. Entry fees. So there's a couple of fees that you're going to have to pay. I'm going to go over those now. First one is going to be the main event, and that just means you're the tournament, right? So the tournament is $130 if you pay by May 30th, $145 by June 6th, and then on site or after this it's $160. So you can register on site, and they typically do this up until like half an hour or something before the event starts, but just save yourself some bucks. It's normally not even this expensive. I guess the prices have kind of been jacked up recently. I don't know if it's because of all the special guests they have. They are bringing in a world champion and everything after all, so maybe they're paying for him to come by, raising the fees on everyone else. I think I remember my last one only being like 70 or 80 bucks, so this has gone up a little bit. So if you're a GM, an IM, or a WGM, then you get free entry to the event. And you'll find that this is pretty standard for all chess tournaments. So once you get like a IM level, sometimes even less than that, sometimes like FM level or CM level or anything like that, they'll give you free entry or reduced entry into not only the games and the stuff like that, but normally they often pay for like your hotel as well. Excuse me. They'll like pay you additional money to come as well. Oh, excuse me. So yeah, you get to just play a ton of free chess once you become an IM or GM. So that's another reason why I really want to do it, because I love playing in tournaments, and for it to be free would be, quite marvelous. Blood side event. These don't worry about us. These don't matter about us. This doesn't matter. Buys. So I mentioned in one of the other videos for tournament prep that buys are things that occur in tournaments, and that you don't get a full point for them typically, but you get like half a point, and how you can only generally do them at the beginning of rounds. So this is how the Charlotte Chess Center is doing buys this event. Up to 2 optional half-point buys, and you have to request before round 1 begins. All buys requested during tournament are 0 points. So you have to ask for the buys before the tournament begins, and it's only up to 2, and I believe that's up to discretion of the whoever arranges the tournaments. Normally, if someone gets 2 half-point buys, then they're not going to be, within the running for the top of the tournament anyway. Normally, 1 is like if something pops up and you can't be there for a round, then you let them know and they'll give you half a point at least, for being honest with them and letting them know. And then during the tournament, they don't actually award any points for the buys, just because then they could kind of be strategic, right? Like if you're half a point away from winning, then you ask for a buy, then you just win. They're going to give you the chance to fail once the tournament begins. Unrated players. So if you're a new player, to chess, then you have to enter one of these categories. And this is what happened to my brother last time. He's a pretty strong player. I think he's like 1600 online or something, but he had to go to one of these lower sections to start with. Just because they're not going to put you in a higher section, because they want to keep those games strong. And what I mean by that is, say you have a really strong U2000 group, and you put a couple of random unrated players in there, it's just going to bring down the quality of the games. Even if 1 or 2 of those players are actually at that level, if the remaining of them are just trash players, then it doesn't create a whole lot of fairness in that tournament. So what they'll do is they make everyone work up the rankings. I think last time my brother even didn't get to play in U1300, so that's even a little bit better. U1300 is actually kind of strong for over-the-board play. It's a lot more different than online. You'll find that these ratings are a lot stronger than the chess.com ones, or definitely than the Lichess ones. Not to shit on Lichess or chess.com, but generally, if I were to give you guys like a quick... Someone made like a formula for it, but let's say, for example, your 2400 Lichess. I'm using like myself, for example. Maybe not even 24, but let's say 2300. Let's say that's my Lichess. Let's say that my chess.com is 2000. My in-person would probably be around 1800. I'll say 1850, just to be generous. IRL rating. So take whatever rating you have online with like a grain of salt. Also, try basing this off of your rapid ratings, because with Blitz things are completely different. You can't use most openings that people play in Blitz. You can't use them in Classical, because even a low-rated person will be able to figure that out. Winning on time isn't a strategy in IRL games, because people literally have 2 hours per side with unlimited delay normally. And then the other thing would be that people may prioritize certain pieces when it comes to Blitz games. Like say they value 2 rooks over a queen, or say they value a knight over a bishop just because they could hop around and be hard to beat. Excuse me. In Blitz games, that kind of stuff does not work in Classical. So play some rapid games. Do yourself a favor if you want to play professional chess. Not professional, but like a rated tournament. And then take your rapid rating with a bit of grain of salt, maybe even a little more, just so your first tournament you're not playing against, people at your, peak strength. Maybe at least let yourself enjoy your first tournament a little bit. Play people that are a little easier, so you have some tough games, but others are still free. You're not completely stressed out for the tournament. Re-entry. So this is something I don't particularly like, but it is something they offer. If players have an undesirable start to the event, they may wish to re-enter the event. Players may re-enter for a $60 fee. So I believe that how this works is that your rating does not come back to you. So say you're in a 3-day event and day 1 you lose both games and you want to start again. they will let you enter the 2-day where those games are pretty much scratched on day 1. Well, I guess there's only one game on Friday, right? So that game is scratched and you could re-enter into the 2-day. But you're going to have to pay a $60 fee and the rating still is deducted. So I don't think you should be able to start from scratch regardless, but it is something that they offer. As for the tournament, boards, sets, and clocks are provided. So I always bring my own anyway, just so I could play people, and analyze my games and, just play blitz or study my games or something. I always bring a few sets with me, but they do provide their own. So they'll set up the clocks for you. They'll set up the boards for you. It's going to be nice Charlotte sets and clocks. In all sections, White's clock will be started at the start of the round, even if players are not present. So a lot of people, they're like, kind. They're like, oh, we'll wait till he arrives or whatever. Don't start his clock just yet. But when you have like hundreds of players competing in a chess tournament, you don't really have that luxury of being nice to your opponent, right? You just have to start it right away because they're not going to be making hundreds of people wait because one guy was late and one guy was feeling nice. June ratings are used for pairings, prizes in all sections. So AKA, if you played a tournament earlier in June and it wasn't yet recorded into the database, then they're going to use your old ranking from beforehand, whether that be higher or lower. All sections are US rated. Okay, so registration ends an hour before the round. I said half an hour, but that was a rough estimate, so an hour before the round. Something about plaques, something about trophies. By registering for or attending this event, players and guests grant permission to CCC to take and use photographs and videos for purposes related to the event. So Charlotte uses a lot of photos, if you were to go up top somewhere, they would have a bunch of, right here, live photos. They would have a lot of pictures from the different events. I'm actually going to see if I could open that in a new tab. See if they have some cool photos from some other tournaments. They do, but these are kind of kid tournaments. I'll use... I guess you guys could kind of see all of them. They're not bad. Yeah, this is the hall generally, and they have different ballrooms that you play in. Let's see if it'll open up a full picture for us. Yeah, I guess it will. So pretty much this is the clock you'll be using. It's going to say Charlotte Chess Center on the back. Nice little clock. Every board is the same. All the pieces are the same weight. So even if they confuse pieces, they all go to the same set at the end of the day. See how people have drinks. Like I said, a lot of people bring their own. They're also going to have little water stations back there. So you always have something to drink. But here you have a book because notation is required. And yeah, I don't know what else I could see from this photo. I actually saw this guy at my last tournament. November. Oh yeah, this is the one. Yeah, I'm gonna see these photos actually because I attended this tournament. I'm gonna see if there's anyone else that maybe I'll see myself or my brother. But I'll see if anything stands out to me in these photos. Yeah, so what you see here, this is one of the higher up games, and the way that I could tell is that for one, clocks are a different color, which indicates that. And for two, you see these little wires. These are not headphones or anything like that, but these are DGT boards, I believe. So that's why these boards look different than the other plastic ones that were in the other pictures. And that's because they have sensor in them pretty much. So when a move occurs here, they'll have it in the back somewhere where they're tracking the top games. Or so they could broadcast it because they often show these games on TV. So these red clock games with the wires are the ones where they're being broadcasted. You could see it plugged into a USB or whatever. And you could see that even in these top games where it's being broadcasted, how they have, their books for them to write down notes. So that's round one. Whoops. Gallery 2. I guess maybe they just show the top boards. That would make sense though. So if you are a very good player, you'll probably get your picture taken more often than not. I wonder if they have pictures for the Blitz. Maybe not. Alright, so yeah, most of their pictures are going to come from the top boards. Here they have some close-ups. So if you don't like getting your picture taken, then I'm sorry, but it's probably going to happen anyway. Alright, that's enough for photos. Is there anything I missed with this event? Yeah, no spectators allowed. Electronic device policy, aka you can't have it. Obviously, people will have their phones on them when the tournament starts. What you do is you put it below your seat, pretty much turned off. And they generally have, I mean, they have a whole policy, so you could read it if you want more info. But it's generally like the first time it makes a sound or whatever, you know, you're forced to like turn it off, and if it happens again, you forfeit or something. I don't know how it exactly is, but just make sure that thing is turned off. You know, don't mess with putting it on vibrate or silent or anything. I would just turn it off and be safe. If they see the light even go on, I mean, they may, you know, disqualify you. Tournament staff will be equipped with wands and other anti-cheating equipment. So yes, they do take cheating a little more seriously. I don't know if this was the same pre-Hans Niemann and stuff like that, but they always, you know, take cheating pretty seriously. Strong quality and quantity of tournament directors. Yeah, like I said, this is a pretty good organization. So they have a lot of people to look over and watch for cheating and stuff like that, if you're worried about that kind of thing happening in over-the-board chess. And then it says, games may be submitted for thorough review by Dr. Ken Regan's FIDE-approved algorithm prior to submitting the event for rating. And I know that this guy's algorithm was used to determine whether or not Hans Niemann was cheating, and he did not find anything funny that he was doing. And once you register, you'll find the list right here. Okay, I guess you have to... Wait, can I just look at entries? Yeah. Okay, so cool. We have some cool people already here then. We have Nerditsky, we have Bortnik, we have Yasser, but I don't think that's Yasser Serwan, that's like some other Yasser. I think Min Lee is a really good player as well. Anyone else I notice? No, I don't know any of them. And then eventually you'll find people here in your sections. I'm going to sign up here one of these next few days, so you'll find my name there as well. But pretty much you'll be able to see who's in your section before it begins. If you're super serious in one of these higher sections, what you could do is you could actually look at their profile and see what kind of games they play. You'll find out if they're like a D4 player, if they're an E4 player. You know, you could study their games because, like, see here, for example, how there's only like a few people in this pool. You know, like a month or 2 months before this tournament, what these guys are going to do is they're going to look at all their opponents and see what they play and come up with, you know, strategies against some of them. But yeah, that's about it for this side of the tournament. Membership is required, though, to play in rated tournaments. And that's not membership with, like, the Charlotte Chess Center. That's membership with US Chess, which is the governing body for rated chess tournaments in the United States. Even if you're playing from... I believe that if you're playing for overseas that you don't need one, but I think that's because, like, the FIDE membership kind of, like, overlaps. Like, you're all set. So I'm not sure how that works, but I'm assuming that most people who are going to come to this event are from the United States or Canada or Mexico or something, so they're pretty local. So I believe you would need a U.S. membership. And this is how they do their memberships. So they have different memberships for different age. They have like family packages, stuff like that. They have lifetime packages. For most of us, I'm assuming that we're like young adults. So the ones that you want to look at is either this one, young adult, if you're under 24 when it expires. So mine, I got the 1 year last year because I am 24 right now. So when my thing expires after the tournament, also in June, then I only have to pay 27. I'm going to have to get this one right here afterwards. And this is just a regular adult one, which is $45 for a year. Or if you want to save a few bucks, you could go with the 2-year one. I'd probably recommend doing the 2-year, not because like this $3 savings right here, but because I think that these prices are actually higher as well. I think that this 45 used to be like 35 or something, so if you don't want another price hike, you know, in a year, you know, just get the lower price when you can. If you only need enough for 1 year to see if you like chess or whatnot, then, you know, by all means, go with that $45 one or that $20 one. If you're even lower aged than 24, if you're 19 or under, then you can do this one for 20. If you're a senior citizen, you could get it for 40, so a little bit less. They don't like you guys quite as much as the youngin' though. And then they have family plans. So if you have a family who likes to play chess and you want all of them to be involved in tournaments, then you can just pay one flat fee for all of them. And I guess they have a lot of different, categories and stuff based on where they live, what age they are, blah, blah, blah. In which case, make sure you select your right one. No offense, but I don't care too much right now since I don't have a family myself. And then if you want to become a life member, then you can do that as well. And I'm actually considering something like this because I anticipate playing for life. It'll save me some money down the road. I surely believe that the prices will go up in time, and why not just pay it now? But we'll see. I'm definitely not doing it this time around, at least. And also, these memberships kind of become free once you become like a GM or IM or something like that too. And I do plan on working towards those rankings and statuses at some point. So I, on the other hand, probably won't look at getting one of these, but the option is there. And then once you register or whatnot, you'll be able to look yourself up. So this is my account. I only have 2 tournaments if you were to look me up. Well, they're going to say 3 because they're going to show the blitz. But yeah, so you're going to see right here that I played 1 tournament in Massachusetts. I went to 1631 ranking, and then I kind of shit the bed in the next tournament, the one in Charlotte. So I went to 1577. And then here you see that my Blitz tournament that I played in, that free Blitz event for $1,000 that you get paid. You don't have to pay $1,000 to enter, obviously. I went to 1443. And what happens if you click like within a tournament, they'll show you like what position you were in. Like this one I was in 2nd. It shows like who you lost to, who you beat. You could click on their names to see how your opponents have been climbing in ranking. To see if you beat anyone, who was like on the uptick or someone who was like, very much overrated, in a particular tournament, which happens. And, if you want to play in chess tournaments, but you think the Charlotte one is either, not a good time or too much money or just too long, like it's 3 days, but you just want like a 1-day tournament or something, then there's this cool thing in the US Chess, which is the same place where you register for a rated membership, called Upcoming Tournaments. And what you do is you just search your state. You just search whether you want the tournament to be, online or in person. I always select no. I just play on chess.com if I want to play online. And then you could even search further, if you want like a Grand Prix, American Classic, etc. This mainly applies to people who are already high rated, like 2,000 plus, and they're trying to get like norms and stuff. So they could start getting their chess titles. But pretty much it'll just spit out all the different tournaments that are going on. And you could like search within, your state, the neighboring states, if you don't mind traveling. And pretty much if you have a USCF membership, you could play in any tournament, in the country. So that's very cool. There's also another one I'll be announcing soon that I'll be doing for this year. There's going to be a Charleston chess tournament. I don't know if US Chess actually posts about it, because some of the rated tournaments are like, they don't want to advertise too much because they want to keep their pool like smaller. But I think it's like a 30 to 35 person tournament that they're going to have in Charleston, South Carolina, in the summertime as well, like August. And I will be attending that one as well. So when I get information on that, I will post it. I'm just going to check to see if it's going to show up. I don't think it will. Let's see. South Carolina. Yeah, so it looks like Columbia actually hosts a bunch of tournaments, but yeah, that's all it shows. So only Columbia, near us, actually hosts tournaments. So, I mean, maybe I'll even enter one of these. I'll look into these once I'm done with this video. But pretty much this is where you would go. Not everyone lives in South Carolina, obviously, but you would just look at your state, neighboring states, see which ones you'd want to go to. Some tournaments are 1 day, some are literally like a week long, where it's like a 12-game tournament or something. You play like 1 or 2 games a day. But yeah, I hope this wasn't information overload. I will be attending this tournament in June. Anyone who wants to join as well, I will actually give the first 5 people who respond to this video and who attend, I will bring 5 Monki Moves t-shirts with me, and you will get a free t-shirt if you want to meet up at some point. I'll create a time for like viewers to come, and we'll enjoy the event together and stuff, and you'll get a free Monki Moves t-shirt if anyone is interested. first 5 people to make some kind of comment on the video and just like pull up their YouTube or whatever when we meet in person. But yeah, that is it. Remember, it's like $130 to join the tournament. It's like $45 or less to get a membership, and then all the equipment and stuff is included. But if you need a hotel, then yeah, that's the one thing I missed. Let me just go over the hotel real quick. You can, of course, figure out your own hotel arrangement, but if you want things to be nice and simple, I mean, you could just get a hotel here, which is where the last tournament was. They give you a discount. Yes, this is the hotel. It's quite nice. Yeah, it's quite a nice hotel. I mean, they have this nice lake right outside of it, and over on the other side that you can't see, they have a lot of like food options. Let me see. You could kind of see a little bit more. They don't show across it too much. Oh, that's a little better. But yeah, you have a ton of food options, and back here there's even more food options. So pretty good place. They give you a discount if you attend the chess tournament, so it's $105 or $115 per night. What you do is you could just one room. Okay, so they might be running out of rooms right now. Yeah, you could also go locally and then just like travel to and fro, but I think the prices kind of even out if you do that, so I just go with the tournament hotel typically. And yeah, that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and have a good one.